Welcome back to Newquay Golf Club. I'm still down here with Chris Gill. We're doing some filming, trying to test out some Mavrik products from Callaway, but we're also going to bring in a special guest. Now John, Big Oggie Golf, is come in today for us. He's going to do a little fitting with Chris for a new driver. He's currently using a Titleist driver, but we're going to have a little go with the new Callaway products and see if there's anything out there in the Callaway range that might be able to beat his Titleist driver. Let's get in and meet John and see what he's got. There is no end to your skills, is there?
Not very many people might know this, but I've known Lester for many a moon, and I'm a little disappointed he's trying to take my mantle of being the best dog's body on the planet.
Well, his coffee is not the best, so I'm really interested to see what you can bring to the table.
I'm guessing gravel. Look, Lester, that's how a nice cup of coffee should look. A little bit of froth on it, nice and steamed, piping hot, ready for the boss.
Okay, we're going to carry on the Mavrik testing, and we've got John in with us today. John, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
How you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, you've got your own channel, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Tell us just a little bit about that.
Big Oggie. Big Oggie Golf is me and a whole bunch of other people now here today at Newquay Golf Club with Chris Gill and yourself.
Yeah, so what are we going to do? We're going to have a little look at your driver. What are you currently using?
Currently using a TS1.
And then what's the shaft that you've got in there?
It's one of those super lightweight air speeders. It's for you.
So it's a speeder shaft, and what weight have we got in there? That's a 40 gram
Crazy light.
regular shaft. We're going to get Chris to fit you into the new Callaway Mavrik driver. And all we're trying to do today is really just get an idea of how the Mavrik performs, let's say compared to what you're getting out of the TS. So we're going to set you up, we're going to find a shaft that's going to kind of work for you, and just see what the numbers start to get from these drivers.
Okay.
Right, we've hit some balls. What's the numbers looking like?
So, John, if you come and have a look at the numbers here, so we've got a club head speed here of 85 miles an hour, we've got your ball speed 123, launching at 18.3, so we are launching it a little bit high. I think we can still get you the height and we can get you the launch, but I think that number could do with just coming down just a fraction, just a hair. Backspin 3.6, total spin 3.8. It's quite a lot. I think if we can bring that number down while still launching it at the right angle we want to launch it at, I think your carry of 188 average, overall 205, I'm pretty sure we can obviously, hopefully get a little bit better than that for you.
Chris, what are you doing?
So we've had a look at John's driver. He has, obviously, it's quite a bit of loft on the head. Shaft is really lightweight, 40 grams. To look at his swing speed, look at his ball speed, for me 40 grams will be hurting him a little bit. So what I'm going to attempt to do is we're going to put him into the max head, because obviously John says he likes to launch the ball a little higher. Yeah. That'll launch it a little bit off the face, but we're going to give him, I'm going to try him out in a couple of shafts, but both 50 grams. So regular flexes, slightly heavier. Yeah. The heavier the shaft, that should produce a little bit less backspin. Right. And hopefully, fingers crossed, less backspin, better launch, more carry.
So this one here, this shaft that you've got here, that's the one that kind of is the stock shaft for the Mavrik head, yeah?
So this is the Riptide. Anything geared from Project X is generally geared for low launch, low spin. So it'd be very interesting to see, just by increasing the weight and maybe getting the loft down off the driver head initially, if we can just change John's numbers to flying it out there a little bit further.
Okay, and then the other shaft that you've got there, this is from a completely different head, isn't it? This is Rogue.
So this is from the Rogue head.
So when you get stuff sent to you from Callaway and different companies, you try and keep as much as what you can. If you find a shaft that kind of is performing quite well, you keep it for other drivers?
For sure. We do a lot of fittings down here. So when this shaft came along with the Rogue driver, so wow, 3 years ago, this shaft, we fitted a lot of guys of John's kind of handicap style swing speed. A lot of guys really enjoyed this shaft. They did find that they launched it a little bit better. It wasn't quite as high, but it really took the spin off the ball a hell of a lot. So it'd be very interesting to see if the kind of old technology, if you like, compared to the new technology, is going to make that much of a difference. What do you think of the look of it straight off the bat?
I really like the look of it, actually. It does. It kind of feels confident.
Mm? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice go along with that. Yeah.
Nice side back to it. Like I said, it extends back.
So have a couple of whacks, buddy. We'll see how we get on. Nice. Good swing there. The big thing here is obviously peak height is a little bit lower, 2.7 now. So we've got you down now to 2.7 as opposed to 3.8. So we've taken 1.1 off it. This number comes down, the more this number's going to increase. So we've got you flying it now just over 195. And then going out to 220, well, you said that you'd be happy to hit it 210, 215, so yeah, awesome.
Right, Chris, we've got some numbers here. Just talk me through what you've what we've done, or what we've been able to achieve with John.
Okay, so with John's, with his Titleist, we've got club head speed 85, ball speed 124. We're launching it a little high, just over 18 degrees, so it's kind of popping on him a little bit. But if we combine that with a lot of spin, 3.8 is really revving the ball up quite a lot. He's flying his current one, 188 going out to 205. When we go back down to the max here, we've got his club head speed and ball speed. They've increased, yeah, fairly nicely in all fairness. Sort of a couple more miles an hour club head speed, 3 more miles an hour ball speed. The launch is almost just over 4 degrees less. So it's lower, it's coming off lower from the initial launch of the golf ball, and then his spin rate has come down by 1100 spins a second. He's now got flying another 8 yards further and going another 14 yards overall. Now 14 yards in anyone's book is a big advantage, so he's going to find the game an awful lot easier. Margin for error is going to come down a little bit and should be enjoying his golf a bit more.
John, hit a few balls with both of them now. How's that Mavrik feeling to you?
Quite surprised actually. I've never used a Callaway at all in the time I've been playing.
Yeah.
It feels slightly deader to me, which is kind of nice. It looks lovely on the ground. I do like the fact that it's kind of elongated. It just gives me a bit more confidence on the back.
In the back, is that what you're saying? Yeah, so you feel like there's a little bit more of a longer stretch back.
Almost feels that when I'm driving, it's almost like it's sliding on the ground. I can almost see it happening.
Right, let's see what Chris has got in store for you now. So whilst these two are just carrying on with their fitting, I think it's important to know here that obviously John has a coach back at his old club. So when Chris is going through his fitting, he's got to bring that into the sort of game a little bit. He's obviously asking lots of questions with what his coach is working on, so he's not trying to necessarily change his swing for him, but he's giving him a few sort of ideas and kind of nudging him in the right direction just to help him maybe swing that club just that fraction better, which hopefully should improve his numbers. But John then can take that back to his coach and continue to work on things. Just a bit of a bomble there.
Yeah, the big fella has managed to send one out there, which is quite nice. It's now going only one yard offline as opposed to 52, so we've kind of got the dispersion rate in a little bit better. We have got a couple in there, but what I do like about this setting, especially the draw one, is it's going in one direction, but I do like the way that the Riptide on the draw setting, John, is just launching a little bit higher, which I think you'll prefer the look of. Pretty sure that those numbers are sort of about as good as we can get for you. You get virtually 20 yards extra out of a club. That's, as I said right at the start, that's the difference between you hitting hybrids, fairway woods into par 4s, or going in there with a mid to a short iron and actually making the hole a little bit easier.
Right, John, what do you think of that driver? Obviously, you've just recently got the TS1.
Yep.
Now that you've tried the Callaway, what's your thoughts?
Well, it's kind of confusing, isn't it? This is the thing. You try something new, and you think, oh, that really works well with me, and then you try something else, and oh, that works a bit better. Yeah. I'd like to try it on a course. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing for me. Surprised by the extra distance I'm getting.
And then when you were fitted into your Titleist, what was the plan there? Were you trying to just generate a little bit more distance, or were you trying to get a bit more control?
I was trying to get more height in terms of carry.
So some really good numbers there from what John was getting with that driver. You could see the improvements that he was getting, certainly moving into the Callaway when Chris had fitted him into the driver that we were testing there with the Mavrik. But you have to look back at what happened in his previous fitting. Obviously, when he went through this fitting with Titleist, he was looking for maybe a little bit more height to deal with what the challenges were ahead of him at that particular time on his golf course. I think they achieved that, but again with John, he's taking lots of lessons, so he's improving all the time, so his swing is going to change. So when you get fitted for a driver, sometimes you move out of that driver pretty quickly. For John, I've kind of advised him to maybe have a little look at tweaking the head of that driver down a little bit. He's got some manoeuvrability within that driver that he could bring the loft down, which will hopefully produce a little bit better spin for him, get the right launch, and then get him hitting it out there a little bit further. However, he may now look at the Callaway and say, do you know what, I wouldn't mind testing the Callaway on the golf course. That's down to John to decide. Let me know, put your comments down below. What did you think of that as a fitting? Have you been for a fitting yourself with a company and then maybe ended up in a driver that isn't quite right for maybe your new swing? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Put your comments down there. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing from the video, and we look forward to catching up with you again soon.